feel like every level that I've gotten to, I had this breakdown process in order to break through, right? And I think that it's normal and expected that when you are moving to a new level or just redefining how you're doing your processes, you're going to have a breakdown to get to the breakthrough. And I think that it's a valuable process because you're evaluating a lot of things: costs, return on your costs, happiness level, time level. Like, am I able to take a vacation,
Right.
and not feel like I'm abandoning my business?
Well, I think the discussions that our discussion earlier and discussions we had last week really comes down to being asked better questions from people that you don't normally have conversations with.
Yeah.
So they're coming at you from a totally different perspective. And so, and you're a professional, having a conversation with somebody who operates at a decent level and have them poke holes in what you're talking about, or ask questions where you go, "Oh shit, I never thought about that that way." Those are, if you are a professional, you have to be open to stretching yourself into thinking in new and better ways. And I think you only get there by getting out of your comfort zone and away from.
It's the beauty of coaching.
Right.
It really is. Okay, so I'm Workman Success System coached. Been there for 4 years. Pay a crap ton of money for this woman who runs her own boutique brokerage down in Dallas. She's brilliant. She's accomplished. She's a lot of things that I'm not, or I'm not at anywhere near her level. These coaching programs, she's my business coach. Okay, she's not my personal coach, although sometimes she's my therapist and all that kind of stuff. But what you just said is very true. She pokes holes in when I'm dumping my bucket. So for instance, last week I dumped my bucket. I am just in this, I don't give a flip mode when I can't get out of it. I don't know what's going on. I dump my bucket and she says, "Okay, I got a question for you. Are you tired?" Because I ended up with, "I'm just so tired." And she says, "Are you tired or are you afraid?" And I'm like, "Afraid? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of a damn thing. I know what I'm doing." And she continued to push me in that direction. We've got a lot of changes in the market. We've got changes in the technology. We've got changes in the governance. We've got changes in all of these different things. Are you tired or are you afraid of the changes? Give me something to think about, And I mean, that's one of the values of coaching.
What was the answer?
The answer is, I'm not afraid of the processes. I'm not afraid of learning things new. I'm not afraid. I'm truly afraid that I'm not going to have the bandwidth to keep up with the technology changes to get to another level. So I can come back to, am I going to be happier doing half of what I do?
Well, let me ask you a better question. What is the point? Why do you want to get to a higher level?
Yeah, I don't know that I want to.
Most of the coaching that I have seen out there is really to drive you to be more productive. In other words, do more deals, get a bigger team, be a presence in your market share, all of these things. And in reality, you can become extremely frustrated and exasperated going through that process when it doesn't make you happy. And really, when I am at that point, and there's many times, and this year is no different, where I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I have to drive to Park Hills and do a listing. I just can't believe I have to do this." I am sick to death of some of the business. And so when I think through it, when I think past it, I think, well, why does this bother me? Am I just tired? No, I'm not really tired. Is it because you're too busy? No, I'm not really too busy. I can go down there, right? But there's pieces of the business that I don't really enjoy doing. And so when I think about that, I think, well, what is it about it that I don't like? And so when I pick through it, I'm like, well, I don't like this. I like this part. I don't like that part. Or is there something else that's going on in my life that makes me not want to do this? And so I find that I am not driven by trying to do more deals than anybody else. I don't care. And really, nobody cares. Okay. So the public doesn't know if you did 50 deals or 80 deals or 100 deals. The public doesn't know if you did 10 million, 20 million, or 30 million. They don't know. What they do know is they care about themselves and what kind of experience they're going to get from you if they talk to you. And so, and if they work with you. But getting back to your exasperation of pieces of the business, I feel your pain. And I think that if your frustration is in growing, maybe growing isn't what you want. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is you or whatever, but if you're in the growth mode and you're being pushed to grow by a coach or you're being pushed to grow by a broker or somebody else in your office or whatever, and you're really trying to grow, why? What are you trying to accomplish? Is this your ego that's driving you to be number one or whatever? I mean, you could be number one in the office, but when I compare you to an office in St. Louis, you're dirt. You're dirt. You're not. Who are you? So what? And you have people that strut around, peacock around or whatever, that they make so much money or whatever. Well, you're not Elon Musk, so shut up. I mean, who are you comparing to? I don't care. So I think you have to think about what works for you yourself. I think you have to think about, what am I going to be happiest with? Where does my fulfillment come from? Does my fulfillment come from running around all over 3 counties trying to find these people a house? Or does my fulfillment come from, going out and doing listings? What parts of the business do you like? And so focusing on those pieces of it, because that's what you want to do. That's what you like doing. That's what you get juiced from, is important. At the end of the day, I'm not going to know how many deals you did or how much money you made, and I don't care. And nobody in the office cares, and nobody at the other office cares. Nobody at Coldwell Banker cares. Nobody at Berkshire Hathaway cares. So who are you serving? So serve yourself. I mean, if you want to be number one in the state or the number one in the country, more power to you. I think it's awesome.
Sounds horrible.
It's not for me, but if I was 30 doing this, maybe I would be that way, but that was many years ago.